about Monster High too. Let me start with Miia, coming back as your character, Clawdeen. Sorry if I said it wrong. My English is still not the
That was
best.
perfect. That was perfect.
Clawdeen, coming back in Monster High too. How was coming back?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it's kind of interesting when you spend so much time being a character and you take a break, you do wonder like, oh my gosh, am I gonna remember how to do this? And then going back into it was like going home. I mean, it's stepping out of your skin and into somebody else. And I have so much love for Claudine, and so it was such an exciting opportunity to get to continue her story and see her through another season of her life.
Talking about Claudine, how you prepare to a role like it's like you had to dance, you had to sing, you had to act, you had to do all these, action moves, all this stuff. How you prepare to act, to play a role like this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it for sure. I mean, with the dance, obviously with Heather, we did a lot, not just with learning the choreography, but there's also a lot of conditioning, training your ankles and doing different workouts, just get your body ready to move a lot. And then as far as acting goes, I'm really big into journaling as my character. That's like my biggest thing for getting into roles. And so I just spent some time writing as Claudine. And, it's interesting because between the first and the second movie, we have about a year of time that goes by that we don't see what happens. And so I had a lot of fun sort of filling in the blanks and figuring out, where has she been all this time? But it's definitely, there's a lot of different things to prepare for, but when it all comes together, it's just the most satisfying feeling.
Let me ask Heather, how you make Claudine's coming back to life, show to life through dancing, making that she doesn't lose her essence through the dancing scenes.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I have an acting background as well. And so for me, that's why I love working in narrative, like choreographing for narrative stories, is because it's like I get to try and embody, the best I can, what how Miia portrayed Claudine in the first one, I tried to riff off of. And then especially through the script, I put that together with, what Miia put together and then what the director would like. And I say, hey, what do you think about this? Is this in line with what, does it feel right? And for example, there's one of the numbers, I was like, there's a big need for like leveling up what she does in terms of her dance. And so I was like, let's try this. And Miia was like so game. So we were able to like really level up where this character is going in terms of what she's trying to say and what she's trying to convey with a lot of the conflict. We needed to also then level up her movement in these songs that are telling the story.
Talking about that, how you approach to make a unique routine for the old Monster High, because it's not only her, it's all these dances sequences that we see in the film.
Yeah, for me, it's all about, the many different styles I've trained in over the years. And so that are funneled through a musical theater lens. So, it's all about like what works for each character. So I love giving each character a move that makes sense for me, that embodies them, or a movement style based on, for example, like Frankie has a very different approach than, Claudine. But when we get into like the unison, it's like, all right, how is this going to embody the monster-ness of them, not be too on the side of cheesy, but obvious, and have some undertones. That's what I love about Monster Highs, is these like really deep undertones that are really about, conveying depth along with this like exterior kind of flair, right? So it was a lot of like putting all that together, and it was a blast. Yeah.
Miia, how was how you see the evolution of Claudine from Monster High first and the next one, Monster High 2?
Yeah, I mean, in the first movie, it's all about Claudine finding her place at Monster High and also just coming to terms and really being able to own who she is. And we get there by the end of the movie where she is at Monster High and she has all these friends and she's able to be her true self. And so going into the second movie, she's a lot more confident. But with that, she puts a lot of pressure and responsibility on herself to be a certain way and to play a certain role in the society of Monster High. And so she goes through this journey of sort of figuring out like how to just take pressure off of herself, how to reach out to people, and how to prioritize, because you just can't do everything all at once.
This is my last question. I think I'm cutting my time. From your perspective, what you want the audience to take? That would be for you, for both, to answer the question. What would be the perspective from the audience to take about this Monster High 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think Monster High 2, similarly to Monster High 1, I think it's so great because there's a character for everybody. I think Monster High does an incredible job of just making you feel less alone, making you feel seen. And so I just hope people can watch this movie and feel connected and feel like if they feel alone and they're going through something and they don't have, a community, Monster High can be their community, and they can see somebody in the movie who reflects them and their struggles, and they can see how, it'll all work itself out in the end.
And you, Heather, through the dances, what you want people to get from the film?
I mean, I would love to inspire any kind of, wanting to get up and try, some of the movement, some of the dance steps, but also at the end of the day, a similar thing. It's like we're all unique, but we're all going about it like all together. So that's what I love about dance. I mean, they talk about even just how it triggers something in our brains when we see or do unison dancing, and it really unites us, and it basically sends a shockwave of positivity and togetherness. So even just doing a dance class or doing something even online where people are doing it together really can change how you feel in the world. So I hope that that's a contributor to someone feeling not alone, less alone.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for your time. Anyway, I love it. I love the movie. I watch it. I'm like, there were some moments I'm like, oh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.